In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast, it is Rookie Watch Volume 1. All the rookies have played. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. A good chunk of them have played. And James and I, we're going to share our thoughts on this rookie class. So stay tuned to hear our thoughts on the Raptors rookie class. All the prospects getting DNP-CDs are playing low minutes. We're going to talk about Zaccharie, Risacher, Sarr, Stephon Castle, Edey, Donovan Clingan, Ryan Dunn, and more. Stay tuned. Big shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, the director of scouting for NBA Big Board, and my co-host for the day is none other than my brother James. What's up, James? Man, you've been watching these games, man? Well, I know you have. That's a
Come on now. Yeah, I've been watching the games, man, enjoying it. Not just the rookies, but, some other guys. I love basketball, man.
I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it is back. But before we get into this episode, I want to let you know that it is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet. You get started with $150 in bonus bets. If you win your first $5 bet, visit FanDuel.com to get started. And also want to let you know about the Locked On newsletter. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter covering your favorite team. It is Locked On, whatever your team is, Mavericks, Lakers, Raptors, Bulls, whatever it is. It is the one stop for ultimate team and league coverage. It is delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new and free Locked On newsletter covering your favorite team. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the bell so you can be notified every time we drop, because we're coming at you 5 days a week. And this is episode number 23 for October. We still have a few days left, and we're going to cover the rookies. This rookie class, we heard it all last season. This class is not a strong class. And then in the preseason, you started seeing the comments. We underestimated this rookie class. This rookie class is a lot better than we thought and anticipated. The experts didn't know what they're talking about. And now the regular season has started, and it looks like this rookie class is not very strong, as a lot of rookies, whether you are a lottery pick or not, are struggling to get some minutes. But I wanted to talk about the Raptors rookie class. I wanted to open up with the Raptors rookie class. And first of all, James, do you know who is leading all rookies in scoring right now?
That's a trick question, is it?
Yeah. Who is leading all rookies in scoring right now?
All right, so you hinted at the Raptors rookie class, and I know Jamal Shead is averaging 9 a game. Is he leading all rookies?
No.
Who?
Jamison Battle is leading all rookies in scoring. Jamison Battle for the Toronto Raptors, averaging 9 a game. Jamal Shead is number 2 at 8.7 points per game. Now, it is early. Jamison Battle is on a 2-way contract, and he is leading all rookies in scoring at 9 points per game. Jamal Shead is second at 8.7. Svi Missy, Edey, and Zaccharie Risacher are all tied for third at 8.3. Donovan Clingan is leading all rookies in rebounds at 5.7 a game. Sarr second at 5.5. Missy third at 5.3. Edey 5.0. Jamison Battle at 4.7 rebounds per game. So Battle is first in scoring, fifth in rebounds. Jamal Shead is leading all rookies in assists at 4.7.
Probably turnovers too.
But he's playing. He's getting the opportunity. And then Jonathan Mogbo had an impressive game. I want to say Friday night, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. The Raptors rookie class wasn't a class that everybody was, talking about being a strong class. And their first round pick hasn't even played. What are your thoughts on the Raptors rookie class?
All right, so I had no clue Jamison Battle was leading the rookies in scoring. I see he's shooting above 40% from three. What's funny is I was watching the game and I was like, who is this dude? Who is this dude? And then it all makes sense. He was on two-way deal.
Hold on. I got number 77. Like,
yeah. I'm like, what?
I mean, I want to say Vladimir Radmanovic. I don't know. Like
Luka 77
years ago. And then Luka, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing multiple players wearing number 77.
He has to be the first brother in the history of brothers to wear 77.
AJ Johnson.
Why is he wearing 77?
I have no idea. Luka only is wearing 77 because Dwight Powell, Mavericks, legend, he's by default, he's got to rank among the Mavs all-time leaders in some category. I mean, he's been there forever.
You think Dwight Powell is like 24 and he's really like 32 or something like that, which is crazy because I don't know, man. I always think he's a young guy until I realize he probably played with Dirk.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was part of if I'm not mistaken, I was working for the Legends at the time. Dwight Powell was part of the Rondo trade.
He's 33. Yeah.
How long it is. But yeah, Luka only wore 77 because Powell had number 7. But Jamison Battle, I had to start off with that. Leading all rookies in scoring. I mean, it's only 3 games in, but he has to be the front runner for Rookie of the Year. 9 points, 4.7 rebounds, shooting 53% from the floor, 45% from 3, and he's doing this in 16.7 minutes per game. Mogbo again had a good game, like I mentioned.
He's had the best rookie game so far.
Who, Mogbo?
Yeah, his second game, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. And then I don't know how it happens, but in the next game, he plays 9 minutes.
That is this class in a nutshell, in a sense. Mogbo was a player that, he started rising late in the draft, and then he went higher than I expected. He definitely went higher than I expected. I get the appeal for him, especially because he's a passer, he's athletic and so on. But he looks like, he was worthy of the pick. And the fact that he's playing and we've got some lottery picks or top 5 picks that aren't really playing a lot of minutes, I want to transition to that. Reed Sheppard, are you surprised at the lack of playing time? I can't say that I'm surprised, and I had mentioned it in when we did our rookie predictions. I didn't think that Udoka was going to play him a lot of minutes just because everything that I had been hearing coming into the draft was he wanted to trade the pick. He wanted a veteran, and the exact words that I heard from a scout was Udoka doesn't want a rookie. He wants to compete for the playoffs, and he wants someone that he can say, I need you to guard Gilgeous-Alexander for 10 minutes. I need you to guard Booker. I need you to guard Durant. I need you to guard Luka. And he didn't feel like there was a rookie that could. Maybe Castle is Ryan Dunn may fit that mold, but
you already got Amin Thompson for that, though.
Right. So Reed he played only 6 minutes in the last game against the Spurs as the number 3 pick. And he came into the season again. It's very, 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 very early. So I don't want somebody saying that, making it seem like we are bashing him. But he came into the season with the reputation as an elite shooter, which, I'm not going to say that he's not. But he's shooting, I think,
33% from the field.
33% from the field. What is he shooting from 3?
I believe the same.
Yeah, he's shooting 33% from the floor, 33% from 3. Hasn't got to the foul line. Only playing 11.7 minutes per game, averaging 3.3 points. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not surprised. Not because I don't think Reed is good. I think Reed is going to be really, really good. But like you said, I don't think he is what Ime's looking for. I think that, it's a constant reminder that dude Ime gave up his job in Boston. They win a championship next year. Ime's a competitive dude. We saw him cuss out LeBron like he's always competing. And I don't personally think that he is in a place to be giving guys minutes because they were drafted 3rd. Now, again, I think Reed should probably play better. But, again, I just feel like I'm not surprised. Ime wants to win. I don't trust the rookie.
All right, let's switch over to Rob Dillingham. Rob has not played a single minute so far. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't understand. In a sense, I don't think Rob is ready, again, because of their timeline. I don't understand playing Joe Ingles, though, because I think his toes are in the sand, man. I don't know who he can guard, and I feel like, I guess, eventually Rob will crack that rotation, maybe as a spurt. But I really don't even like how the Timberwolves are playing just in general right now. But him not playing early, the trade for Randall, the trade for DiVincenzo kind of killed his minutes, his backup minutes. But I thought he would at least play, 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there. But, yeah, I don't know, man.
The only thing I can say is get ready for Des Moines, because that's where he's going to end up playing for the Iowa Wolves. All right, when we return, we're going to talk about the number 1 and number 2 picks, Zaccharie, Risacher, and Alex Sarr. But before we get into the second segment, let's talk about FanDuel, because I need you to get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, and it's all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more. And it is on the same page where you place your bets. So just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. And never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right. Zaccharie, Risacher, and Alex Sarr, the top 2 picks in the 2024 NBA draft. Risacher had a good game against the Thunder, but the game before he struggled, so it's been up and down. Same with Alex Sarr. I saw the memes all over social media when he went like 1 of 5 from the floor. Or was it like
1 for 7?
1 for 7 from the floor, because Risacher went 1 for 5 in the previous game. And Sarr bounced back, had a 12 points, 6 rebound game, and then Risacher actually got to start yesterday against the Thunder, and he had a pretty solid game where he had, I think, 13 points on 6 of 12 shooting.
Yep, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Risacher, he attacked the rim a couple times, put the ball on the ground against a very, very good defensive team. I mean, the Thunder, they got guys that defend. They look really, really good. I thought he had a really good game. He looked comfortable at times putting the ball on the ground. Again, great opportunity for him playing alongside Trae Young. He did start because DeAndre Hunter was hurt, and they're on the front end of a back. Is it the front end or back end of a back-to-back? My man Bogdanovich is hurt, so there are going to be opportunities for Risacher. I think he eventually does end up starting or end up being like the 6th man, because again, the guys ahead of him can't stay healthy, but he's in a good spot. The slow start was just a slow start. I think he'll be fine, though, long term.
Yeah, through 3 games, he's averaging 8.3 points, 2.3 rebounds, shooting 36% from the floor, 20% from 3, 62% from the foul line. Those numbers don't look good, but the last game is definitely a sign in the right direction. I will say this. His situation is different than Alex Sarr's. I think Alex Sarr is going to start no matter what.
Yes.
If he's bad, he's going to play. The Hawks are trying to win. They started off 2-0. And even though they lost in the game that Risacher started, I think he made the most of his minutes. And for him, I think it's imperative for him to play well, because if he plays well, he is going to get minutes. If he doesn't play well, then I think it's going to be hard for Quinn Snyder to trust him, because Quinn is there to win.
Yes.
The main reason is always to win, but there's extra incentive for the Hawks to win because their pick goes to the Spurs. So as far as them giving like developmental minutes to develop Risacher over winning, I don't see that happening in Atlanta. I think for him, he has to play well to earn a lot of minutes, which is the opposite of Sarr. Sarr just has to, be healthy, and he should play 20 to 25 to 30 minutes per game.
Yeah. On to Sarr. Yeah, I don't like his shot selection, man. He's shooting 6 threes a game. Yeah, it's only 2 games, but that's what we're talking about. First 2 games. He's shooting 6 threes a game, man. I don't like that for my power forward. Not my athletic rim finishing power forward. He took 7 shots against Boston. 5 of them were threes. Again, Boston's tough because they switch everything and they can guard 1 through 5. I get it, but he shot a contested one. I think I don't think it was late in the clock against the Cavs, but like Darius Garland closed out on him. I'm like, man, just hold that ball, take that switch, and try to make something happen. Is that too much to ask for? Maybe, but I just feel like he's shooting way too many threes. But at the same time, he was better against Cleveland, matching up against his American twin brother, maybe, and Evan Mobley. But yeah, I just want him to see him play closer to the basket. Again, take the open threes, but I don't feel like you need to take every single one. Yes, it's a developmental year, but you can get something off of like secondary action, off a dribble handoff, which gets you closer to the paint, which makes, again, more efficient shots for you.
Yeah, he's only attempted 2 free throws. Again, it's only 3 games or 2 games. I'm
2
sorry.
games, yeah.
He's only attempted 2 free throws, but he is 2 of 11 from 3. Right now, he's averaging 7 points, 5.5 rebounds, shooting 29% from the floor and 18% from 3.
Really quick, though, he did against Boston. I think it was Drew Holiday. He slapped somebody's shot off the glass. Like he did. I'm not worried about him defensively, right? I think he's going to be really good on defense, but offensively, I just feel like he doesn't have an identity on offense. And I said that in summer league. Kind of cleaned it up in the preseason, but now it just looks like he doesn't have an identity on offense.
Well,
I almost feel like you have to be selective on your 3-point shots, like not even close to the same player. But Jokic does not take every single open 3, right? Because that's what the defense wants him to do. Even though he's a good enough shooter, you don't want him taking all those threes because he's better handing the ball off and making plays, even though Sarr is not the playmaker, the post player, no. But I feel like secondary action with Poole, that turns into a lob. Now we're working with something. Take the threes, but don't make a living shooting threes.
Yeah. No, I think he definitely needs to be more aggressive. I'm not surprised. I did have in my notes that he is someone that I think would fall in love with shooting threes. And I can't even say he cleaned it up in the preseason. He just had a game where he made the threes. And so I predict for him to shoot at least 40% of his shots are going to be threes. And I don't see him being crazy efficient because he wasn't really efficient last year playing in the NBA. But then again, you never know because we just seen Ryan Dunn go from super inefficient to super
splash, brother.
But let's talk about Bub Carrington. I know you're a big Bub guy. What are your thoughts on his play so far?
It's going to take some time for Bub. Again, he was inconsistent at Pitt. He had ways where he made everything, ways where he couldn't make a shot. And I think that's going to be more of the same for him. Again, you like that he does compete. He does hit the glass. He does show flashes and be able to make plays. But this is a developmental year for him. I don't expect him to be too efficient, but again, he is one of the younger. He's just turned 19, so just keep building on what you have. I'm not gonna hold him. I don't have like super high expectations for him, but I do expect to see flashes. But I understand that in 2 to 3 years, I think he's gonna be really good. He's just not. He hasn't proven to be a consistent player, but he is definitely an NBA player.
Yeah, it was definitely an upside swing, especially taking him in the lottery. I didn't have him as a lottery pick. I thought last year he started off very strong, and then he kind of struggled in conference play, but then picked it up towards the end. So far through, again, it's just 2 games, very, very early. 6 points, 2.5 rebounds, 3 assists, but shooting 21% from the floor, 33% from 3. So if you add up Sarr and Bub's field goal percentage,
you might as well throw Keyshawn George in there too because he's not shooting the ball well.
Yeah. Again, very, very early. Keyshawn George is at 15% from the floor and hasn't made a three. I know it's early. I keep reiterating it's only been 2 games. I think they're going to get better as the season goes on.
But like you said, it doesn't matter because they're going to get every opportunity to get better because that team doesn't have any expectations. And really, like, they can still make 3 trades, maybe even 4, to free up even more minutes for those guys. So it's like it's a learning opportunity, learning experience for them. I'm not mad at the Wiz kids.
All right, when we return, we're going to talk about Stephon Castle, who Greg Popovich trusted to play big minutes in the second game of the season. We'll talk about Zach Edey, who's had, some up and down performances. Donovan Clingan played well in the last game. And we got to talk about Ryan Dunn, who's had the opportunity to play on some nationally televised games, and he's played well. And then there's a few more rookies that I would like to cover. But before we get into the last and final segment, let's talk about my favorite app when it comes to purchasing tickets, and that is Game Time. Game Time allows you to find tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. What I love is that they have all-in pricing. Just toggle the feature on the app, and it will show you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. And then you get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you know exactly where you're going to sit and what your view will be. And then Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference because they have the lowest price guarantee. And when you purchase a ticket on Game Time, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again, but create an account. Use the redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. All right, Stephon Castle. I was at the first game against the Mavericks. He had a few moments late in the game. He played 18 minutes. I think my prediction was he was going to play, did I say 15?
Something like that, yeah.
So he ended up playing 18 minutes. But then in the second game, Greg Popovich trusted him down the stretch in a game against the Houston Rockets. He played.
Trey Jones was hurt.
I didn't even see him get hurt in the first game. But Castle played 27 minutes, had 8 points, 3 assists. He struggled, shot 2 of 8 from the floor. But the flashes were there.
Are you warming up to Stephon Castle?
A little bit. I was never like anti-Stephon Castle. I just don't see the smoothness that I saw with Brandon Roy. I don't see the Brandon Roy comparison. Brandon Roy had no weaknesses, like zero.
I mean Brandon Roy was an older rookie. But let's get to Castle. Look, closed games, made some plays down the stretch. Jump shot again, work in progress. I know you saw the skip pass he made on the right side of the court. Whizzed it by somebody's head. I think he hit Shane Penny for a corner 3. Cut off of it, Wembanyama. Caught a body, right? You see the pick and roll pace where he hit Şengün with the Euro step. He had a couple other plays. Jabari Smith did block his shot at the rim. They called him for a kick. He can get to the basket. I think he does need to add a floater because he does try to chest up with guys a lot at the rim, and I don't know how many rookies are going to get that call, but a floater, I mean, that he has a lot of game. I think he should be playing more minutes even when Trey Jones comes back because he makes plays. He can play off the ball in the sense where he cuts, and you're going to need that since they're going to be posting up Wembanyama. So shout out to my man Castle.
I don't know if they're posting up Wembanyama. He hasn't been able to get really good low post position, but Castle's tricky to me because, well, one, I think he has proven that he can be effective when he does play. He's averaging 8 points, 4 assists, that's great numbers in this class. 8 points, 4 assists in 2 games, shooting 33% from the floor. Has yet to make a 3, but he's been to the free throw line 9 times in 2 games.
You see, that's the Jimmy Butler I'm talking about, man.
I just think it's going to be a challenge to play him on one hand because Chris Paul is going to play and Castle doesn't space the floor. He is going to mess up the spacing for Wembanyama. But then there's so many things that he does well that you have to play him. So I think it's going to be an interesting situation for Popovich once Trey Jones comes back.
Pop, holla at me, man. I'll tell you what to do. Play Castle. It's just that simple. I don't think you guys' timeline is what you think it is. I understand you want to win. Hey, you're going to get that Hawks pick. I mean, I think Castle is good enough to play right now and win. I don't think Chris Paul should be playing more than 24 minutes a game. I mean, you know, did you see the video of somebody was guarding Chris Paul full court and it was a struggle to get by anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, me and Chris the same age, man. It is what it is. I just think, you know, it should be 24 minutes a game for him. Can you close with Castle? Depends on how the jump shot is looking. But we know he's going to give maximum level effort on defense. We know he can make plays. Went to the line at the end of that Rockets game. He knocked down free throws. Again, the jump shot needs to work. He needs to work on it. But at the same time, like he's a winning basketball player. He can hoop too.
It's very early, but Chris Paul is averaging 3 points per game on 22% shooting.
Listen,
but he is averaging 8.5 assists per game, which is why they brought him there. I mean, I'm for the Chris Paul signing because I just think there's some intangibles that he brings to the table. But speaking of hollering, you telling Popovich to holler at you. I'm suggesting Stephon Castle holler at Tony Parker. Parker was courtside at the game against the Rockets. Hey, Tony, teach me that floater.
Yeah.
That's what I would be every single day. And we need to, you know.
I think Castle has the floater. I want to say he was shooting a few of them at UConn, but most of the time he wants to get to the rim and be strong. And it's hard to argue with results. I mean, a rookie shooting almost 5 free throws a game and just a little bit that he has played. Again, it is only 2 games. That's a lot. But there were a couple plays where he just needs to just go ahead and shoot the floater because the bigs are already down there.
Yep. All right, let's talk about Donovan Clingan. Donovan Clingan had a good game, 9 points, 9 rebounds in 13 minutes against the Pelicans. What were your thoughts on Clingan's performance?
Man, you couldn't have asked for a better opening 2 games opponent if you're Donovan Clingan because Zion is going to be going to that left block every single time. And all you got to do is when he does hit you, get up because he's going to hit you and they're going to collide. But you're going to have opportunities to show that you can protect the rim because that's what Zion is going to do. But also, he had a play where he blocked C.J. McCollum going to the basket. Clingan has been good. I mean, offensive rebounding, he's crashing the glass. I still think there's about 2 or 3 dunks that he's leaving on the table. But he's playing very well. And it's still only a matter of time. I think they need to move some pieces around and play him more minutes because he has been productive.
Yeah, that's why this whole Clingan-Edey debate is going to be fun all season long. I mean, both sides are probably happy with what they've seen from their pick in a sense, but Clingan is averaging 5 points, 5.7 rebounds, 2.3 blocks per game in only 13 minutes. So let's say
are Edey fans happy with what they're seeing?
Edey fans, Edey has a hive of fans that are.
I know he has a hive. Okay, I'm not talking about the hive. I'm talking about the because the hive mind is.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. I want to finish with Clingan.
Okay, go ahead.
So let's say Clingan is at 26 minutes a game. Again, I'll reiterate, it's very early. It's only 3 games. But if you double his minutes, that's probably 10 points, 10 rebounds, and maybe 4 blocks per game.
Is that realistic?
Yeah, I mean, he's averaging 5 and 5 and 2 in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
So he should be able to just get rebounds just because he's active. He's long. As far as points, he should be able to at least get a few dump offs. I mean, he's shooting 66% from the floor. The game against the Pelicans, the last game, and they played the Pelicans twice, he was 4 of 6 from the floor with 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. The first time they played the Pelicans, only got up 1 shot, but he still grabbed 6 rebounds and had 4 blocks in 14 minutes. In the first game where they got smacked by the Warriors by like 36, he only played 13 minutes. Definitely should have played more minutes in a blowout. And he finished with 2 points, 2 rebounds, but he had a block and a steal. So I think Klingan should play more minutes. The only way for him to play more minutes is for them to move Ayton. I just can't think of a suitor for Ayton right now. That's where I think it's going to be challenged. I mean, we've seen teams make trades, but like just off the top of my head, like what team needs DeAndre Ayton right now? I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right, let's talk about Zach Edey. The results have been mixed for Zach Edey. And I did see him hit a three-pointer. I was like, what in the world? And I mean, he shot it very confidently. It was a corner three off of.
And it was early in the game.
Yeah, it was early in the game. So I think that is encouraging, but I think you don't want to bail the defense out by shooting threes. On paper, the numbers are solid. 8 points, 5 rebounds per game. He's shooting 61% from the floor. However, he's averaging 4.7 fouls in 17 minutes. The last game they played, and I was looking at the numbers, and it was against Orlando. They won. He played 13 minutes. He had 4 fouls, but he was like -12 or something like that. And then the rest of the guys in the starting lineup, +26, +14, +18, +7, and he was -12. Again, I keep reiterating, it's early. He has a clear path to play a lot of minutes. Now,
Does he?
Well, they want him to play a lot of minutes, but so he's played 3 games. The one game where, I mean, he had 4 fouls against the Rockets, but the one game where he didn't have like a bunch of fouls early, he played 23 minutes, was 6 of 10 from the floor, had 13 points and 9 rebounds. But then he's had the game against Utah where he had 6 fouls in 15 minutes. And then the game against Orlando, he even played less minutes, but he had 4 fouls. I think teams are going to attack him every single possession. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how many minutes and how he's played. Now, again, if he stops fouling, then he's going to play a lot of minutes. But
see, here's my thing about that. All right, so Triple J played 22 minutes, right? And that was Edey's lowest minute total right there. It was 13, right? So, and that was his first game, Triple J's first game back off a hamstring, which means they're probably monitoring his minutes, limiting his minutes. Jay Huff, G League veteran, all-star, has played better than Edey. He's doing everything.
He was 7 of 9 from the floor, 18 points. He's closed.
He's closing games.
Yeah, he's averaging 13 a game, 57% from 3, 63% from the floor.
Right. So, okay, he's shooting threes, and then we know that Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to get up 5 of them a game minimum. So it looks like the team plays better, closes better when they have a floor spacing big on the floor. So I don't know. I didn't see the Jay Huff emergence this year, right? And he's playing well.
I actually liked Huff. If you watch G League games, Huff
he can hoop. He always plays well. He just is that borderline guy. So maybe this is his opportunity. Edey hasn't. It's been a mixed bag. Like even that game against the Rockets, he was struggling. He's scoring off of dump offs, but Şengün was pulling a chair on him a couple of times. He still had 4 fouls. I have him down for 11 field goals made and 13 fouls in 3 games. And I have him blocking 1 shot in 3 games. So It's like, what are we getting from Edey? Again, we know he's a bully. We know he's going to push you around. We know he's going to finish every single dump off. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the minutes look. Again, it's 3 games. We still got 79 more. But Triple J is back, right? The minutes will get ramped up. But Jay Huff is giving you very good minutes off the bench.
Yeah, and Edey's not making foul shots. He is shooting 25% from the foul line, but 4.7 fouls. And then again, he only played 13 minutes against Orlando, but he was only able to grab 1 rebound. So the Zach Edey watch is going to be something I'm going to be interested in all season long, because I think they had big plans for him, and I think he can help the offense out. But on defense, I think every time he's in the game, teams are going to attack, and he's got to figure out a way to stop fouling.
A lot of these are offensive fouls, though, too, I believe.
Yeah, but also the emergence of Jay Huff adds another interesting wrinkle in this dynamic. Now, we all know that if they play as a tie, the tie is going to go to Edey. But
it's not a tie.
It's not a tie right now. Again, we'll say it again. It's early. I know people are going to we're overreacting. It's 3 games. But the way Huff has played, can he sustain it? I don't know. But the way Huff has played, I think it's going to be a challenge to keep him off the floor, especially in closing lineups. All right, we have to talk about Dalton Knecht. He's averaging 7.7 points, but he's shooting 50% from the floor, 41% from 3, hasn't missed a free throws, playing 16 minutes per game. In the last game against the Kings, he played 20 minutes, had 10 points. I'm not surprised at how productive he's been. And I know that he didn't shoot the ball well in the preseason, but I figured those percentages would come up in the regular season because he's going to get a lot of catch and shoot threes. What are your thoughts on Knecht?
Well, not only is it the catch and shoot threes, like he has scored in transition. He had a play in particular against the Kings. He was cutting without the ball, moving without the ball. I already know that JJ's in his ear about being active off the ball because while, JJ was off the ball predominantly to shoot, with Knecht's size, he should be able to get layups and finish at the rims. I believe he had a backdoor dunk. Edey threw him the ball, but he's playing well. Again, I was surprised that he fell that far. I thought some of these not older teams, I feel like some of these younger teams could have taken him because, again, he is older. He's ready to contribute right away. But he fell to the Lakers, and he's in a good spot. You play with LeBron, you're going to get open shots. And if you play well in L.A., you are set.
I disagree. He's not in a good spot. He's in an excellent spot. What more could you want from, at least from the perspective as a player and even from like an agent perspective? Your guy's going to be on TV a lot. He's a shooter. He's on a team where he's going to get open looks. Like, he's not high on the scouting report as guys you need to stop. He's going to run the floor in transition. And I think it's going to be big for him off the court. Dalton Knecht is going to be a star off the court, at least marketing-wise, especially early in his career because people love young players.
I say the reason why I'm not saying it's great is because all those things can work against you if you don't play well. Look at Jalen Hood-Schifino. Is he a shooter? No. But if you put his name in the search on Twitter, there's nobody saying anything good about him. And I'm not knocking the young man. He hasn't had a chance. But they'll sit here and say, man, look who we drafted last year. I mean, I know he's been hurt, but it's like it's the gift and the curse, man. Sometimes it works out well for you. Austin Reeves looking like it's going to work out well for Knecht. And there's other times you look like Hood-Schifino where they don't like you and it's not really your fault.
But I think the difference is Hood-Schifino, we knew coming in he did not have a game that was complementary to the guys that drive revenue.
That's not his fault, man.
It's not his fault. Him. But Knecht, his game complements LeBron, complements AD, and he's going to get open looks. And all he has to do is knock down open looks, get a few dunks. He's gonna be a guy that's going to generate a lot of money off the floor by playing in LA, playing on TV on a winning team.
I agree with that.
Real quick, I want to talk about Ryan Dunn. Yeah. Ryan Dunn continues to amaze.
Yo, his first 3 games, he's played against Harden, Luka, and LeBron. His first 3 NBA games. And guess what? All 3 of those dudes have guarded him because the scouting report says he can't shoot. Well, history says the college scouting report says he can't shoot, but he's making threes and he's shooting them with confidence. And
he's making threes, yeah. The first game he was 0 for 2, but since then he is 6 of 11 from 3, and he's playing. I mean, the game against the Mavs, he played 21 minutes, was 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3, letting it fly with confidence. I mean, his ride, we've talked about it probably 10 times now, but it needs to be investigated.
Yeah.
Whoever.
You snitching? OTF jam? You got a wire on, Robert?
No, I'm saying it needs to be investigated in the sense whoever his trainer is, I mean, I can name a list of guys. They need to be in his offseason plan. Matter of fact, if his trainer is like a free agent and he's not on the Sun staff, hey, we need you to come spend a week up here in Detroit with Ryan Holland. Madas may need it. Stephon Castle. I mean, there's quite a few guys that are struggling to knock down shots.
Price of the brick went up. If I'm his trainer, I'm slamming the paper on the table like, hey, yesterday's price ain't today's price, man.
I need 500,000 because if I get your shot right, you're gonna make
500 million.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast. Again, I know we couldn't cover all the rookies. There's a couple guys like Tijan Salan, who was out with a finger issue, but he finally was able to get some time. But Matas Buzelis, a guy who's also struggling. But pretty much most of this rookie class is struggling. But it is very early. There is plenty of time for guys to get their feet wet. And it's, just the beginning of what we hope is a long career. But once again, that wraps up this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast. But before we go, got to let you know about the Locked On newsletter. Your favorite team, again, Lakers, Bulls, Magic, whoever your favorite team is, there is a letter coming from Locked On. It will give you coverage on your team and the whole league and deliver it right to your inbox. So sign up at lockedondaily.com. That's lockedondaily.com to start your day with the all new and free Locked On newsletter. Stay tuned. We will be back tomorrow, and we're going to go back to talking about college basketball and talking about some of these scrimmages as we get closer to the start of opening day of the college basketball season. We out of here.